Someone say before that time is money. And while that's partly true, it's not the whole truth. Because time is also energy, clarity, it's even margin. So when you reclaim your calendar, you're not just getting more hours back in the week, you're getting yourself back. You're getting the mental space that you need to really think clearly, the emotional energy you need to make better decisions, and the freedom to create without feeling like you're stealing from something else that actually needs you. That's a little bit what I want to talk about today. Because if you're a founder, a CEO, or a leader, there comes a point where productivity hacks and better to-do lists, they're just going to stop working. Yeah, you can color code your calendar. You can buy a new project management app or block off focus time, all you want. All good things. But if your leadership structure is broken, your calendar is always going to be under attack. Here's what I mean. If you're the hub of every decision, if your team doesn't have the clarity to move without you, and if your business rhythm depends on you filling in every gap, then it doesn't matter how organized you are. Your time will get stolen by everything that's missing within the system. I call it the clarity tax. It's the invisible drain on your time, your energy, that comes from being the one who holds all of the answers. You don't see it line itemed on your budget, but you're gonna feel it. Every time you're pulled into a conversation that could have been solved without you, you're feeling it. Every time you stop what you're doing to re-explain something that you've already explained before, feeling it. Every time you have to fix something that went sideways, but because the instructions were unclear, you're gonna feel it. And listen, the clarity tax, oh, you guys, it's expensive. It doesn't just take minutes or hours, it actually takes mental bandwidth away from you. It takes away your creativity. It takes away your ability to think beyond whatever the next urgent thing is. And over time, it's going to create something that's even more dangerous than exhaustion. It creates invisible burnout. Now, invisible burnout, it's different from the kind of burnout that you hear people talk about when they have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning or they just dread going to work every single day. Invisible burnout is the slow erosion of your very best thinking. You're still showing up. You're still producing. But your creativity is shrinking. Your patience is wearing super thin. And your ability to see opportunity is fading away because all you can see are the problems that are sitting right in front of you. That's why reclaiming your calendar is not just about better time management. It's about breaking the systems that keep you in constant reaction mode and then replacing them with rhythms that protect your clarity, your energy, and your margin. Let me give you a real world example. One of my clients came to me convinced that the only way to get more time back was to hire another full-time manager. Yeah, another full-time manager. See, she was spending her days bouncing between client calls, team questions, and operational fires. And her calendar was just a mess of back-to-back obligations, leaving her no space to think. So instead of hiring someone, we built her week from the inside out using the ISTS structure. We identified every recurring problem that landed on her desk and created clear pathways for those issues to be handled without her help. We set up delegation rhythms that gave her team ownership over their outcomes so that they weren't waiting on her sign-off before they made a move. And then we used Emmy to capture the decisions that she made most often, and we created a library of answers that her team could use in real time in real situations. So the result, in less than 4 weeks, she had reclaimed 12 hours of actual working time each week without a single new hire. More importantly, she had the mental breathing room again. She could sit down and plan without being interrupted. She could look at her numbers without being pulled in to some Slack conversation every 15 minutes. And she could actually enjoy the work she loved instead of just feeling like she was playing problem solver all day long. Here's what she told me that has stuck with me ever since. She said, the best part is not the 12 hours. The best part is that my brain is mine again. That's the real ROI of reclaiming your calendar. When you get your brain back, you lead differently. You stop making decisions from a place of urgency, and you start making them from a place of vision. You stop settling for short-term fixes because you finally have the margin to design long-term solutions. So what does a reclaimed week actually look like? It looks like starting your Monday without that pit in your stomach, because you know that your team already has the plan for the whole week. It looks like blocking 2 hours for strategic thinking and actually getting to use those 2 hours with no interruptions. It looks like ending your day on time because you're not cramming in work that you couldn't get to earlier because of all the problems. It looks like having energy left for your family, your health, those creative projects that you want, instead of collapsing into bed feeling like the day took more from you than it actually gave. And if you're thinking, boy, that sounds great, but it's not realistic for me, I want you to hear me on this very, very clearly. Reclaiming your calendar, it's not a luxury. It's actually a requirement if you want to lead well over the long haul. You can't make high quality decisions when you're depleted. You can't see the opportunities when your mental bandwidth is clogged with unfinished conversations. And you certainly can't innovate when every ounce of your energy is spent on just keeping the lights on. This is why I talk so much about rhythm. Rhythm is not about micromanaging every single moment. It's about creating a predictable flow for your business that gives you the freedom to lead without being in constant reaction mode. In Leaders Evolution, we use a combination of ISTS, Wavemaker, ILS, and ME wrapped all around it to create that rhythm. ISTS gives you the operational clarity that keeps small problems from becoming those constant, never-ending, overwhelming interruptions, right? Wavemaker is designed to strengthen your emotional leadership so you set this tone for calm, not chaos. And ILS is going to build you a team of entrepreneurs who own their outcomes and free you from being the only one who can move the business forward. And Emmy is going to wrap it all together for you. Now, when you put those 4 anchors together, you don't just get time back. You get energy back. You get clarity back. You might even get your leadership back. In fact, you will. That's the real return on investment. Not just hours, impact. Not just a lighter calendar, but a stronger, healthier business that runs without draining you completely dry. I have seen founders reclaim their calendars and suddenly unlock new revenue because they finally had the space to chase the opportunities that they've been sitting on for months, sometimes years. I've seen leaders go from being one step away from quitting to feeling re-energized about their vision and breaking through milestones. I've seen teams thrive because their leader was no longer leading them from exhaustion. So here's my challenge at the end of all of this to you. Look at your calendar this week and ask yourself, is this a reflection of the leader that I want to be, or is it a reflection of the emergencies I'm stuck reacting to? If it's the second one, then it's time to start designing a different week. A week where your time reflects your priorities, not just your problems. A week where your energy is protected like the valuable asset that it is. Or maybe a week where you have the clarity and margin to lead at your highest level. And if you're ready for that, this is where you can start. Go to pinpointwebinars.com. No paywall, no cost, on demand. Watch the training. See exactly how to break the clarity tax, stop the invisible burnout, and reclaim the kind of calendar that gives you not just more time, but maybe some more life. Because you weren't meant to lead right from that edge of exhaustion. You were meant to lead from a place of clarity, strength, and vision. Let's go get that back. pinpointwebinars.com. See you there.